Yo, man, what up, man? It's in the booth.
Is it?
Like, bro, what in the world is
And I am Messenja.
what kind of intro is that? Canton Jones.
Everything
Ramona
came together in
Jones.
the booth.
Bro,
Years later,
you
and still in
socks,
the
man.
booth. Do a
With socks.
podcast with the interview.
Nah, that's just the hat,
Can't
bro.
even stop what we finna do. Got a resume longer than a limousine.
Oh, you don't like
Got
the
something
team?
for the king, something for the queen. And we got to win a team.
Do you know what team that
Then
is?
we hit them with a bada boom, bada bing.
White socks.
You know what it is when we in the booth. Speaking to the host,
Some
speaking
yellow
to
hat,
the
you collect hats,
no matter
but you
what,
don't
we
like
gon' tell
the
the
team.
truth. See time hoppers, you gon' see
Not
the
about
fruit.
the team.
Put the kid tag, gotta pull it from the roots.
none of the
We
players
get the
got
bag, gotta get the loot. Find another with a bitch, we don't need a shoot. General in the game,
I don't buy Georgia hats.
let's go now. You know I
You don't buy
Canton
Georgia?
Jones and
Oh, that's
Messenja
right.
in the
I don't
booth.
buy
Yes.
Saints. I don't buy Saints. You should.
I buy everybody else.
You should. The Atlanta Falcons, boy. You still an Atlanta Falcon fan?
Look,
After this
we
shit?
see this every day.
I thought he just had that up there because his kids bought him for his birthday.
No.
And he's just...
Now, who told you they bought me from, Bubba?
You're a Falcon fan, for real?
Yeah.
What you think about the season?
I think they should have tanked that whole thing instead of waiting till the last minute to start losing.
No, they was losing. They were tanking as they were going.
Nah, they were still winning. They just
No, they
won.
were trying to win.
They just won by 1 point this weekend.
Look
I'm
at.
mad now.
They won in the worst way.
You know, I'm
They
mad now.
lost in the best way, which is dumb losing.
It's just backwards.
Them jokers, they do the dumbest thing. You win enough so you can't get a great draft pick, but you lose enough not to get in the playoffs.
That's why I said tank.
Yeah,
That's why I'm mad now.
yeah.
Amen. Well,
They
thank
won
you guys
by 1 point this
They
weekend.
knew
for joining
they knew
us
how bad they were
in
at
the
the beginning
booth
of the season.
with Canton Jones and Messenger. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show on Facebook, YouTube, and all podcast
Dumbest
platforms,
losers of all time.
including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to sponsor or advertise the show,
Boom, 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 boom.
here I go looking dark again.
It's yellow.
Yeah. Turn my head back.
Hey,
That's not
hey,
gonna help.
Cam, get
Well,
this
actually, yeah,
man
a little bit.
light,
Yeah,
man.
A little
yeah.
bit.
This man look like a banana, bro. Get this man right, please.
That better.
Yeah,
I was in the
yeah.
shade.
Yeah, get him. No, over
No,
here, over here,
Yeah,
bro.
better.
Get him right,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Please.
all it was.
Get this man right. Get his banana.
Give me some
light.
of that ISO.
Okay.
Yeah, get some
ISO me.
ISO.
Scotty.
Scotty.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, if you'd like to, oh, you ain't touch it? Well, it look better. I don't know what
Yeah, I was
you
like, I
maybe
ain't even
you need
do
your
that.
presence.
Something with the lighting.
Yeah. If you'd like to advertise or
This might be
sponsor
that
the show,
camera, bro. We got to get him. Get it.
yeah. I
Man,
keep giving me that dark.
We'll apologize that we
Yeah.
still to
Hit us
the
up
right
in the
with
booth pod
Oh, I'm just playing.
at gmail.com.
Amen.
This man got a whole Thanksgiving meal for breakfast.
Yeah.
That boy eats steak and eggs, boy.
They don't care.
That prison food, that last meal food, before last will and testament. That
That
prison-
steak, huh?
Yeah,
Man, I
yeah,
got pray
yeah.
for Fulton County Jail. Ain't got no water. Crazy.
And it's just a jail, nothing around it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Can't flush the toilet. Don't get no water. For how long?
Yeah, I mean they had to bring them bottled waters to drink something. I knew that they had
Yeah.
to give them something to drink.
But that toilet don't flush.
I mean,
And you in
they
a
still
cell.
have to go. It's just smell.
Yeah. I mean,
still-
you're in a cell. And it just,
No ventilation, no windows.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, amen.
Yeah.
We pray for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Don't worry about it. The activity.
All right,
activity.
so today we want to talk about, we're going to raise the question, is church attendance really necessary?
We got pastors
I
and
know.
first ladies. It's church. Of course it is.
I mean, is it really?
Well, let's get all of the terminology
Necessary for
right,
what?
because
Necessary, true, necessary to have
Necessary
a,
for what is the question?
well, let's get
To
all
be
of
a Christian.
the terminologies correct. One, we are the church, so the church is not a building. So it's a body of believers. The assembly is when we come together as the church. So we meet as the church and come together. But to me, So when you understand that you are the church and not you don't go to church. Right. I mean, we've been saying we go to church, but you don't really go to church. You are the church. It's almost like I don't go to Jones, I am a Jones. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so when you understand that you are the church, there's a different mentality there, because a lot of people have the mentality to act a certain way when you get into the building and not be the church outside of the building. No, there's a representation and there's something that you carry outside of this building.
And you spend way more time outside of church.
Right. And you're a bigger representation of the church outside of the church than what you do inside the church.
Do you really, I want the people to understand, if you were to ask Apostle Paul, I'm looking for a good church. You know where I can find a good church?
It'll sound retarded.
He'd be like, you're looking at one.
Right. Or,
like, it wouldn't be like, yeah, down there.
Go to the Corinthians.
First Baptist down on the, like, it wouldn't send you anywhere. Like, it would, that doesn't make any sense back then.
Or I'm looking for, and I know a lot of street people get this.
Church home?
I'm looking for a good crib. I'm looking for a good crib. Looking for a good blood. They're a body of guys that move a certain way. They don't go to crib. They don't go to
the
blood.
best crib.
You know what I'm saying? They are a body of guys that move the same way, guys and girls. And so we are the church. We're a gang. We're a body of believers.
Or you're like, I'm going to Saints.
I'm going to
You're
Saints.
the Saints.
Right.
I'm going to Saints.
And so, right. Yeah. I think people have to, now, for years, people have forsake not the assembly
as
for
a reason
all
why.
Church attendance. That's the one you go to. That's the go-to scripture. Forsake not the assembly. The church hurt does exist, but also street hurt exists.
Right.
Hurt, period.
Work hurt, right? So it's better that if you need some type of positive influence or a great word or some encouragement, then based off of, if you want to go, get some encouragement from the grocery store, get some encouragement from the barbershop, get some encouragement from the hair salon, get some encouragement from the club, get some encouragement from the football game, from the basketball game. Like, nobody is built to encourage you. Some people probably will. You can get some in there, but church is built to encourage you. Now, some people do better than others, but if you really want to be inspired through Jesus Christ, of course we believe in Jesus Christ, but if you want to be inspired, then you go to church. The streets say, if you're scared, go to church. If you want to be inspired, if you want to be uplifted, a place where you can go, you can cry now.
But that's not the only place you can go to be inspired as far as the kingdom is concerned.
Well, that's the only place that, as far as the assembly. Mm-hmm. Now the church, you can go get influenced by anybody from anywhere when it comes to being influenced by the kingdom of God, you know what I'm saying, mm-hmm. through Jesus Christ. People can help you with that. Some churches can't, to be honest with you. Some of them don't know how to do kingdom. They know how to do church, which is a culture of behavior, right? But don't necessarily know how to help me spiritually. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like,
which is backwards.
But if you're talking about, man, I'm having suicidal thoughts, or I'm feeling like this, or what, you need to get yourself to a church, because of your percentages of getting something positive or something spiritual that you can hear there. So I feel like church is necessary. Now, what has changed is church is not necessarily a building. Yeah. Church and inspiration can be on your phone, and you can get to that quicker than you can get to a building, then you can get to a pastor, then you can get to a preacher, then you can get to an evangelist. You can pull something up on your phone that somebody recorded years ago that can inspire you, that can help you, that can encourage you, that can give you the next step. God can speak to you.
That's why I said necessary for what?
Yeah.
You can get a word through anything.
Yeah.
But you don't need it for a relationship with God.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need
You don't need to be in a building anymore because they didn't have social media.
Yeah.
Right.
So we can reach you now without you having to come to a physical place. We can come through your phone. We can come through your television. So there are many ways technology, and to be honest with you, culture is changing how. Culture has changed how you look at TV, how you get advertisement, how you get all of that type of stuff. It has changed, and so if you understand that everybody's changed as far as how you get a movie advertisement, how we get music, bro, it's changed. It's streaming now. You don't went from tapes to CDs to MP3s
to streaming
to now streaming. You know, and so everything has changed, and sometimes we as a body have to be bold enough to change with technology. And that's one of the things even me as a pastor is considering, to be like, man, you know, if we fall real deep into just being online, as far as focus, because sometimes when you think church, you think the building, the people that's in front of you. I've been trying to think, you know what, really it's the people on the camera, and these people here are a live studio audience.
Right.
You know, because later on, even the people inside can benefit from watching this later on to say, man, you know what, there was something that he said that I want to hear again or whatever. And so I believe, and also a ministry like ours is called to more than just Atlanta. We're called to, you know, the world. There are so many people that is in the lane that we've been called to service. And so coming to church, a lot of people who need to be here can't be here. They're in another city. They're in another state. They're in another part of the city. You know what I'm saying? They're in another part of the world. But they need you to come on that camera and say and do what you do. So coming to church is one thing. Getting fed by any means necessary is another thing.
So the 16-year-old that you meet on the street, do you encourage him to go to church, or you say, look, you can go to this online, whatever?
Follow me online. And
What
that
would be the first
and so
thing?
for me right now, being honest,
you want to build a relationship.
I would like for them to come to the building, but I think even what I just said is dated because the world is getting to him without any building.
Exactly.
Without any like I could get to you in your bed. I'm gonna get you all the influence I can. So I feel like as the kingdom, we have to be able to get to them and build or whatever we need to do to them without a relationship. I know we want to do relationship, but really you got to be able to have influence without a relationship, because everybody that influenced us, we don't know. Like, I don't know Michael Jordan. I don't know Jay-Z. I don't know Dr. Dre. You know, these are the guys that influenced us in a certain way. Now, I know my daddy. I know my uncles. You know what I'm saying? Those people have, my dad has a great influence on me, but so does Michael Jordan. So does these other people who I've never met, who I've only seen on television and on the internet. And I'm saying that in order for us to have the same type of impact, we have to fight fire with fire. We got to get in that place. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean that there has to be an ignoring of the physical assembly? Because assembly is not necessarily physical all the time. You think so because that's how we were raised. But man, a person, you can have a total swag change based off of somebody that you see that you've never met. You know, can have more influence on you than the people that you see every day. And so how can we have that type of influence? So that is one of the things that I'm researching. Like, man, does it make more sense to go all internet, all physical? I mean, all digital, all digital, and build a service almost like TV or a recording station or something like that. Now there are people that you probably need to walk with, you know, but
some type of relationship.
That still, you're talking about that model is based off of people who didn't have this. All right. Apostle Paul didn't have this. Jesus did. They didn't have the technology to get to people. Plus, Jesus taught the 12 to get to millions, to billions. He walked with 12 to get to billions. Mm-hmm. All right. There are people that never physically walk with Jesus that are Christians that's walking with him spiritually today. That influence is not the only way we got it. Their technology was through a book, and that is the Bible. So now that we have more than a book, we have a phone, we have other things. I feel like that the church is gonna have to change. It just is what it is, and they're changing, and it is changing. There are people that strictly do internet. There's a lot of inspiration on there. The discipleship part is the part where you're walking with people and all that, and how do you do that? How you check in with a person, and it doesn't necessarily have to be face to face.
I don't think it has to be, or I don't think it can be fully digital. I definitely think that at some point you have to shepherd somebody.
You don't think you can shepherd somebody that you never met?
I believe that as a congregation or as a assembly, you definitely want to congregate, because there's things in the room that's not necessarily available online. Like when something might happen and somebody might get a breakthrough in the room. Like what's her name? Had the purses.
Mm-hmm.
If she ain't come that day, it wasn't gonna happen. What's the name? Had the Chiquita had the purses.
Marquita.
Oh,
Marquita. Yeah. If she don't come that day, that didn't happen. The girl that what's her name? Daughter had the shirts. We did the auction that night.
Right.
There's a blessing in the congregation in how God moves. That if you're just by being there, you can be blessed by it. Or even when praying and moving in the prophetic, I've seen things where I'll see somebody and God say something, and I pray for that, and that whole thing turns around. So you don't get that if it's
I believe you can. I believe that your faith just have to be there, because my sister was praying on the phone with us from somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm not talking about just prayer. I'm talking about the shepherding, the congregation coming together, and the blessing in that, in the growth in that, and being shepherded. They say you give pastors, you give evangelists, prophets, and the fivefold is hands on. So Bible said that the elders go to the church and let the elders lay hands or whatever. Or if you have Jesus said, if you have a fault with your brother, bring him before the church. So okay, how do you do that? Okay, so it's a blessing.
You can do that online. I mean, if you and here's why. Because my family is scattered.
Yeah.
So everything that we do is on the phone, and that's how we stay close. There is no touching, no physical touch. Now we have a time that we do come together, which is Thanksgiving. Okay. That's once a year though.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So, but seeing them once a year, well, maybe twice, because I try to go in the summer. So seeing them twice a year is strong enough for us to keep in contact on the phone. And what I'm saying is,
now I see my family and my sisters and brother way more.
I know, because y'all live here. That's why I say mine is different, because they don't live here. So my perspective,
like Andrew lives in Colorado now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We talk or whatever on the phone or whatever, but I don't get that closeness that I do with seeing Erica all the time. You know what I'm saying? So the actual connection, being together, fellowshipping, those moments Andrew misses out on, even though I can call her, even though I pray for her every single day.
So what's the difference? What's the difference with you being face to face with her and then Andrea in Colorado, and y'all still talking?
Yeah, it's fellowship. It's when we did Andrea wasn't here for Christmas. So yeah, I'm gonna send her gift or whatever. She sent her gift. But the fellowship in the room, she wasn't a part of that. Understand what I'm saying? So the blessing in the fellowship.
You don't think a person can fellowship once in a while and still keep the closeness through communication?
Yeah, I think you're closer when you're together.
I mean, If you see a person.
Yeah, if you walk with somebody every day, work together, do whatever together, and y'all working in unison together versus I call you on the phone every day, that what you do is going to be stronger.
You feel like
and be more productive together than just, hey, checking in with you.
I think that's potentially because there are people that I see physically with my eyes more than I see my sister, but I'm closer to my sister than I am any of them because of our connection.
That's family. I mean, you grew up with your sister though. Yeah.
You brushing off the point.
But I'm saying though,
here's the point, because you just had the same thing with your sister.
But once
you said the person you see every day,
but the person you see every day, listen.
Besides
the person you see every day does not have the years and time that you and your sister would put together. If somebody shows up and you're spending time with them every day,
so still a person can have a closeness and not be here. I can have a closeness with a person
every day,
and I not see them physically.
But it will not equal up to you being with them every day. Is what I'm saying.
It will not equal up. It might. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that I'm seeing every day, I'm not as close to them. So what does that mean?
The
closeness is in the communication.
But so why did you say you had to come off the road and be at home more with Lovey and Mona and that whole thing?
What?
When you said there was a time when you were going all the time,
right?
And Lovey said something to the effect of,
you never home, you go out there.
Yeah. But I'm sure you talked to her on the phone all the time.
No,
and,
I did.
Okay.
I did.
What do you talk to Mona
I
all
talked
the
to
time?
Mona.
Okay.
But I didn't have any
but
communication.
But you came home for your family.
For the communication.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't communicating with her like that.
Okay.
Well, so I had to change. Listen to me though.
Then just say,
I had to change the communication because now that same little girl is about to go to college.
Oh.
And we got the bond. And now she's about to go to college, and now I got to communicate with her through the phone. She's not going to be able to come to the assembly. She's not going to be able to come to church. She's not going to be, I have to allow, and then I have to allow her to go and do her same thing. And then our closeness is still got to be there through the communication. That's what I'm saying. And I'm still.
But I'm saying it's not
and everything that she need to do through life, she gonna call me. I'm not gonna be there with her, but just like my dad. Hey, Daddy, the car broke down, man. What is it doing? It's white smoke. Or you done broke the head gasket. Go. Then what you got to do? And he walked me through. He discipled me over the phone without physically being there. But because I heard his voice and I knew he told me what to do. And he discipled me. So that's what I'm saying. We have to take advantage of technology.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying there has to be a balance. You still have to touch the people. You
might have to touch the people, but the people that I'm called to touch, I have to touch them through here because I'm called to touch millions, and I can't touch them physically every day. That's why it says Jesus touched 12, and then it's like greater things than these y'all gonna do. Because that went viral. What Jesus did literally went viral.
But he still touched the 12 is what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is
you're going to have to touch 12 somewhere.
I can touch 12, but it don't necessarily have to be on a Sunday.
Okay.
Or necessarily have to be on a regimen.
At some point, you're going to have to come together.
Well, I did say
okay, but you're going to have to come together.
To meet with my sisters twice a year.
Okay.
So it could be some assembly. But what I'm saying is the original question is do you have to do church, which is an assumption of every Sunday.
Right.
And what I'm saying is maybe the church needs to go to a more viral.
I think it already has.
It's happened. It has happened, but but I feel like the commitment to online is different when you are. It's like a mindset of what's primary and what's secondary. Because I grew up in church. Sunday, the people being there has been etched in my mind of they are the primary thing. I've been working on, what's on that camera is the primary thing. What's on that camera is the primary thing. Why? Because there's more people that's going to get it through the camera than going to get it in this assembly. There are more people going to be blessed. If people pay tithe, offering, or whatever they do from all over the world, and so I understand that, and I understand that what we do is so needed because it's so rare and scarce.
That's what I'm saying.
We have to take it
necessary
viral.
For what? So you're able to receive a word by way of internet, but what's in the room, what people have gotten in this room is different than what they get on the internet.
That's just your faith.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's been people that's gotten healed just watching TV.
I
TBN or whatever.
I understand that. But people in this room have been, by just showing up, blessed on the way out with something that was in the room, is what I'm saying. So by them coming, like I said, Quita, what's the name, daughter? I've seen things in the room that just happened in this room in a moment.
Yeah.
So the fellowship and them coming, and they said at their mouth, man, I wasn't even coming today, and I just say, I came.
But that can happen anywhere. That could happen at the Memorial Day part where we meet, just the assembling of the saints.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I think fellowshipping, I don't think you could take that dynamic away from the church.
I think that's what it is, though. I think the church is a fellowship. Yeah, and that is the part of, we're looking at it as a service instead of a fellowship. It's you know what I'm saying. So there's more than just coming to hear, because we got a regimen of prayer, praise and worship, offering. These things are quote unquote church, instead of, man, we could sit there for 2 hours and not even turn to the right, turn to the left. When I was at World Changers, it's thousands of people there just before I started getting involved, and I was just there with Mona. I can't even tell you what the person next to me looked like, because I was not looking at this person. Yeah. I don't, I just remember one day, this lady thought I wasn't saved, and she had the biggest Bible in the world, and and she wanted to share her Bible with me, and and point out all the scriptures, and that's Psalms right there, son. Yeah, that's he's reading right there. And I felt so embarrassed, like do I look like I need this much Jesus? You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I wasn't fellowshipping. And I think the part of it is the fellowship part. Like, the thing that I remember is the guys that we played in the band with, the fellowship, the jokes, Billy and all of them people. That's what made me like, bruh, I love this place because of the people. Yeah. But when you don't fellowship, I think church should be fellowship and not we fellowship at church. No, church is the fellowship.
And you that could be anywhere, any day.
But at the same, a part of that fellowship is being able to touch, being able to be in that presence. Like on the day of Pentecost, it says that they were with one accord in one room. Right. Like, I don't think that happens if they way over here and that person way over there.
But you got to understand that with the world and how things happening, all influence, swag change, everything is coming through here. Yeah. And so until you could be way behind, trying to wait until we get together to make something happen.
Right. Yeah. You have to wait till every Sunday. There's no other time to do it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
this is why we do this.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a balance. I'm not saying that there's not a digital or viral, aspect to it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it's not. It's vital that you still keep that element of coming together and not forsaking.
It just depends. It just depends, because coming together could be once a week, once a month, or once a year. Yeah. It just depends. My family is still my family. We get together once a year. They're still my family. They're not no less. And we close. We celebrate each other. Kiki birthday today. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or Kiki birthday was. Yeah, no. But anyway, we celebrate them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand it. That's all.
We're going to come together again all day tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
All day.
All right.
So we'll see y'all later.
Please like,
we ain't got no words for this thing today, but we'll see y'all.
All righty.